Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for another fabulous speed build. The speed build we are watching is going to be in the world of Oasis Springs, and I was going for like a mid-century modern kind of vibe. I don't know if I'm necessarily true to like the actual time period because I'm a 2001 baby who doesn't really get down with like old movies and TV shows, and I'm not an architectural genius, unfortunately. So this might not necessarily be like true to the vibes, but I love this style of house. For those of you who've been watching me for a while, you've probably heard me say this. I've built a couple different mid-century modern builds, but every time I build one, I tell the story of the people I used to nanny for when I was in high school, because I am from a really old small town in Florida with a lot of historic homes, and the people I nannied for actually lived in one of these like certified historic homes, which means that there were certain regulations they had to fill in, and then part of the actual home qualification process is like proving that you are agreeing essentially to be true to the home when doing any sort of renovations. And their home was beautiful. It was even featured in I believe a few different types of interior design magazines and whatnot, but it was a glorious house. So anytime I build anything mid-century, I think of my boys. I miss them so much. They're so big. I love seeing them when I'm home, and they call me Miss Tatiana, which I actually hate getting called Tatiana. I don't know why. It's just like something that kind of bothers me. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. They can call me Miss Tatiana. It's okay when they do it because they're so cute and they have my heart. They really do. But this house is pretty small, and it has a fun little storyline because I built it in the middle of a hurricane. I live in Central Florida now, so a few weeks ago I got smacked down by Hurricane Milton. I'm doing well, my family's doing well, and I hope the same for you if you are affected by either Hurricane Milton or Hurricane Helene. Hopefully we're kind of on the other side of hurricane season. My mom stresses out, and when my mom stresses out, it stresses me out, but for the most part I'm pretty okay. And when I was building this, I actually had my power go out like halfway through, and let me tell you what a gold star treat I gave myself, because probably not 30 seconds before I saved, which was incredible. And then I remember when I set up my OBS settings, I've said this once, I say it on stream all the time, people who ask me like how I got started streaming, any tips and tricks, and I will tell you, technologically, I have the grace of an infant. I have absolutely no idea about technology, but I do love the power of the internet, and you can get so hyper specific with your questions in the YouTube search bar, as well as like Reddit. So that is how I got my whole setup like up and running. I don't mess with it a whole lot because I'm scared that I'm gonna mess up my settings, and you can ask what I did and I will just give you the videos and the subreddit threads that I read through to get it to work. But I remember when I did it, I did this one setting on OBS, and the guy's video who I was watching, he was like, yeah, like, you might not need it, but like this is how I do it, because once I had my power go out on like a 12-hour video and lost everything, I was devastated. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Have never needed it. And basically whenever I finish recording, I get 2 copies of my recording. I don't really know the technical terms for this. I'm butchering this. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please feel free to correct me or laugh at me. I'm okay with both in this instance. It essentially will like autosave. So I even had all the footage. I was like, I have never been this prepared for absolutely anything, which is shocking because the level of anxiety that I live with, you'd think I would be. And I was so happy once the power came back on. I was like, I'm just gonna finish my little build. And here it was, so gorgeous and cute, but it is little. The reason it is little because it's on a tiny lot. This is one of my favorite lots in all of Oasis Springs because it's so intimate and cute. But we're moving on into the interior, where you can see I did the floor plan off camera because floor plans be taking me a minute. No one wants to see that. Unless you do, then I'll happily leave them in and you can hear me yap even longer. But this home ended up being a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and I actually decorated the second bedroom as more of a music room, if you will, because hear me out. I was getting a lot of shiitake mushroom about the fact that I don't really play with nail sims. I kind of half forget about them, and then I decide to do other things. I was getting some shiitake mushrooms because I never really play with nail sims, and I posted this like funny little TikTok about this. I've done it all the time because it's just true to like how I play, and a lot of people are like, yeah, when it comes to picking an heir, I either pick the prettiest girl or just whatever girl's there. I don't know why I'm like this. I think it's because I'm a girl, I don't know, but I don't spend a lot of time like dressing my male sims. They get a lot of the pre-made outfits, Once my sim gets married, if they're married to a man, because sometimes I just X that out altogether, then I'm like, forgotten about. I don't know why I'm like that, but I just know that that is something that, like, the Sims community, some of us do. I've seen the comments. I'm speaking my truth. And I was getting all this crapola for it. And I was like, no, I can focus on male Sims. And I have been better about it, I think, because I create content now. I play The Sims a lot more than I ever have because I upload 3 times a week and I stream and I do all this. When I used to be like everyone else, where I would, like, be off from school during the summer, and my parents didn't have the money to send me to all these crazy camps or go on international vacations. I went to every different kind of VBS you could imagine. Pentecostal VBS, Christian VBS, Catholic VBS. I think I even went to a Jewish VBS one time because my friend invited me. And they had free snacks, so my mom was like, yeah, go. Anyway, I was really good at AP World Religions for that specific reason. I had a good background knowledge. I was like, I don't just get hyperfixated and play The Sims for 3 days now and then give it up for 6 months at a time. And, like, the same storyline that I always play, that I always go back to, like my same little cutesy family style girly gameplay, is not going to keep working. Not when I'm making content. I'm getting bored. The people are getting bored. What shall I do? I can play with a male Sim. I can. So, I made this house inspired by what I can only describe as divorced dad rock. It's a tiny house, and like I said, one of the bedrooms is going to be decorated as a bedroom, and one is going to be decorated as a music room, where I use a lot of Get Famous. I use a lot of Get Famous throughout this house because it's true to the style of, like, being mid-century modern. But really, I wanted to use all the cool Rockstar, like, memorabilia, and I use guitars from every pack. I used a guitar from, like, Base Game, Love Struck, Get Famous. I use guitars from all over the place. And I don't think the Sim that lives here is necessarily a rock star. This is probably inspired a little bit by divorced dad music, a little bit by my dad. Because for those of you who don't know, my dad is absolutely obsessed with Elvis Presley. And we have a 70s themed room in our home. It was like a back room slash, like, mudroom slash laundry room, and it had gotten smacked down during Hurricane Irma, like, years ago, and we never really fixed it. Well, until, like, last year, where my dad decided to put green carpet on the ceiling and orange carpet on the floor. It's got wood paneling. It used to not have wood paneling. He was probably the only person to order wood paneling to actively put up on purpose in my entire city in years. So, he's living his dream. So I imagine, like, maybe there's a divorced dad here, and he is, like, living through his dream. He's like, I like the style, I'm gonna do it. I want animal print, I'm gonna do it. And I think that maybe he does something, like, kind of boring, like a normal-esque, everyday, average Joe kind of job. He's an accountant. He files taxes. Maybe he's a consultant. I have a business degree, and I know several people who work in consulting, and I still don't really know what the heck it does. I know you can make a lot of money doing it, but I don't really know what it is. So that's what he does during the day, but at night, he's like Batman. He's on stage, he has skinny jeans, and he just wants to be a rock star. And he probably plays at, like, the local pubs, crappy dive bars. Maybe he's got, like, a band. And you just know, like, his biggest fan is the Tuesday night specialist bartender. Her name is, like, Glenda. She smells like vanilla and cigarettes, and she is overtly supportive. Overtly. She's obsessed. She loves him. And, he's just living out here following his dreams, because it is never too late to live out your dreams. Is he a good musician? I don't know. This is the story I'm living in my own time, so, like, you tell me if he's good. I think even if musically he's not very gifted, he's a lot of fun to watch. With that being said, I also am guilty of going to a shitty dive bar, doing a couple of tequila shots, and hyping everyone up. I am not the kind of girl you want your girlfriend to meet in the bathroom, because I will convince her she can do better. That's, like, my default answer. Like, even if she's doing perfectly fine, I'm like, you can always do better. Always. But we're talking about my dad. My dad. And this rockstar beach house. Do I divorce my Sims a lot? No. And I think that's because typically when I have my Sim get married, whatever partner I deem more interesting, I kind of focus on. I don't know. It's just how I am. And the other one kind of gets cast aside. And I kind of forget about them. Unless they cheat on me. Let me get a notification that my Sim is so faithful and they're working through their issues. No, they're not. No, they're not. Not me. Not I. I am not cool or chill or empathetic when it comes to that. So I have my little, like, extreme violence mods, and then maybe there's like a kidnapping or a helicopter chopper comes and like blows them up, or they just like crack their neck. I don't know. If you don't know what this mod is called, I'm so sorry you're discovering it through this. Don't look it up, or do, but don't blame it on me whatever you do, because that's not my fault. But I'm just into justice in a way that some people aren't. Alright team, we have made it to our final build, and I must say, she's beauty, she's grace, and she is orange, which is kind of different for me. The tile I used on the outside of this house is actually from the Sims 4 High School Years expansion pack, and I want to say this is from the Book Nook kit. Ooh, am I wrong? Yeah, it's from the Book Nook kit. Okay, I'm kind of on fire, just saying. But I really like the way the landscaping turned out. I think it really matches the world in itself. Then of course we have our little backyard area. I put like a side yard. I think my trash can got deleted by mistake. No, I moved my trash can. My trash can is under the carport because that's where my family would put our trash can. But we've also never lived in a house with a garage. As you can see, you come into the house. What is that? Excuse me. No thanks. You come in here and you have a cute little entryway. I really like the way this floor plan came together. Although it is simple, I think it's fitting for what you need. Sorry about that. There was an airplane driving by. And my house is 90 years old, so you can really hear it. Then you come in here and we have a gold brassy, like that brassy gold kind of color, if you know what I'm talking about. And I didn't put wallpaper in here, but I do think if I would have, it would have like fit the vibes. This is the only bathroom in the house. I took advantage of the Love Struck expansion pack shower door and little shower thingy, shower head. And then of course in here we have our living room with our animal print. There's no way we weren't gonna have some sort of animal print rug in here. I normally use the Woohoo blanket from Lovestruck because I think it's cute that it's like a bear. A faux bear, of course it's faux. But I always forget about this one from Get Famous and I thought it was fitting. Of course a lot of the stuff I use in here is from Get Famous. Get Famous and Growing Together definitely used a lot of. Then in here we have our little dining area and this bowling night stuff pack rug. And it just came together like so adorbs. Then in here we have our kitchen. It's nothing super special. I just decided to use the base game cabinets because it felt the most correct. Then of course we have our music room, and I love the pastel pop carpet in here. I just think it's so true to like what's right. But again, my dad built his man cave to have green carpet on the ceilings and orange carpet on the floor, so little crazy. I skipped the wood paneling because I like the idea of this like obnoxious print with this fun kind of curtain to tie everything together. And of course we have all the things you would need for his music, and like I imagine he sits here and like responds. Okay, it happened again. I don't know what's with all the airplanes flying around. Anyways, I imagine this is like where he sits and like writes emails to these like little dive bars or like community events. Like he probably plays at like the nursing homes too, and it's like super into like Motley Crue, like just vibing. But again, I don't know how the musical talent is, but I know that the heart is there. But like he responds to emails the same way I respond to emails, where I'll be like, oh, me and my team will get back to you. And it's like literally just me and my dogs. And we like wait an hour to respond to the email, so we sound like we're like more official. I don't do that a lot, but I have done that before. I really have. It's that corporate America girly in me. It just happens sometimes. And then across the house we have the primary bedroom, the only true bedroom in this house. It's kind of small, but it has everything you would need. You know, this is exactly what I would expect from a bachelor pad. Very multicolored. Actually, that's a lie, because I feel like there probably wouldn't be a headboard or more than one pillow. Maybe men grow out of that, but I'm just saying, my dad would be that way. I don't know. And then of course we just have our backyard. It's nothing super special. I love these base game chairs though with little flamingos. I thought they were cute and fun. And I used this shelf from bowling night just so I had something over here, because I didn't want to put another window because I needed space to hang up the fun little guitars in this room right here. So I put this here. It's just decorative. I thought it was cute. Leave me alone. And that is the end of our build. It came together really super cute, really super quick, and if you would like to play in this build, make sure you download it on my gallery. It's just called the Retro Bachelor Pad, and again, my gallery ID is in the description box down below per usual, but it's also just TR305, which is also the code you can use at checkout if you would like to help support me as a creator. There is a super good sale going on right now. The Sims is having like a Halloween deal, so they have a lot of packs, like 30 to 50% off, so it might be a good time to snag some of those packs you've been eyeing. I know I personally don't buy Sims packs at full price. Who do they think I am? But it's a great way to help me as a creator, and if you decide not to use my code, I urge you to use one of your favorite creators' codes. I'm sure they have one, and it's just a nice way to support us. Unfortunately, there's not a discount for that. If I had discount codes, I would be making them rain left and right, but I am not that cool. Again, when I tell people to call my people is my dogs, and they're sleeping next to me. Thank goodness they stopped snoring. But that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give us a little thumbs up. And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. You know I love when you do that. Don't forget to drink your water, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.